kid. She's one of these lefties, total leftoids, Trump hating, all these, stereotypical bullshit. And so yesterday she posted this. Chelsea Green posted this, got backlash from her mentally ill Rainbow Mafia SJW fans, excuse me, and then deleted it and apologized. Spineless. Absolutely spineless. Absolutely spineless. So this is what she posted. Political views aside, Hulk Hogan's influence on wrestling world was clearly undeniable. He inspired billions and shaped an entire generation of fans, my husband included. We are mourning the loss of an icon, a legend. My love goes out to his family. Okay. So listen, all right, fine. Fair enough. That's fine enough. That was nice of her despite being a jackass leftoid. This was nice that she put that out there. Pretty fair, pretty reasonable. Wasn't like she gushed over the Hulk or anything. She just said, he did inspire millions and a whole generation. And her love goes out to the family. That's pretty fair. Well, that was a little too fair for her audience because I guess her audience came after her and she took the tweet down and then she apologized and put this up. A significant part of my role at WWE involves engaging with the public and responding to questions, often on live platforms. Yesterday, I was asked to comment on Hulk Hogan on live TV. Let me be clear. My stance on racism is unwavering. I do not condone it. Period. If my response or tweet seemed dismissive of real concerns, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. I try to acknowledge a death respectfully, even when the legacy is complicated. I'm learning one day at a time and will continue to learn. ILY, my patriots, President Chelsea. Is that really what she calls her fans? Patriots. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Uh, total spineless maneuver, totally cowering to her leftoid fan base, which by the way, she completely fostered. She fostered this environment. She helped grow this environment. These are the fans that she chose to play to, and this is what happens. You play to these psycho fans, these psycho leftoids, and then they eat their own. As soon as you say the wrong thing, they devour you. They devour you. And that's what happened to Chelsea Green. That's what happened to Chelsea Green. That's why I say leftism, just no. But complete coward move. Like she didn't say anything unfair, but you know what? That's her fault. This is the fan base that she plays up to. The left has no concept of forgiveness. Do one thing in poor taste and you're canceled for life. Yeah. By the way, I got to close off that banner. But yeah, no, exactly. You have no concept of forgiveness. They always badmouth Christianity. Christianity does have the concept of forgiveness. We do forgive, and God forgives if you give yourself up to God. If you repent and give yourself back to the Lord, and you trust in God, He forgives. But the left have no concept of that, and they dish out their own sentencing, their own punishment, which is just to cancel you, ban you from your job, all these things, and there's no end in sight. Even with the law, you serve your time, and then you're done. But with the left, there's no concept of that. So yeah, Chelsea Green sucks, and she got what she deserved. And so someone else commented on it. Society reviews. If there is one thing this Hulk Hogan situation that has proven without a doubt is that the current pro wrestling fan base and the current pro wrestling locker room have changed for the absolute worst in 25 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not just me that sees this shit. Other people are noticing too, like how toxic this fan base is. And then Slate wrote this article. Everyone hated Hulk Hogan. The most famous pro wrestling in history died as a villain who was all too real. What? And then they treat things like being racist as like the worst thing you could be, like the worst thing you could do in life. You know, um, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Listen, I'm a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he was charged with domestic battery, like with his ex-wife, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to get this amount of hate as much as like Hulk Hogan is. The worst thing that he's done morally is sleep with his friend's wife and be racist and just tell like these tall tales. Again, not good, not morally good, but is that the worst thing ever? Do we need to hate and despise this guy? And to the left also, but to the left, he supports Trump, which is the ultimate sin, right? Is there any more? Okay. Oh, speaking of stupid women in wrestling, so this has been a trend. Multiple women are planning to quit pro wrestling due to the amount of money they can make on OF. One person in pro wrestling noted a path that will become more common is female wrestlers will build a fan base within pro wrestling and launch an OnlyFans. Cora Jade reportedly told people within pro wrestling that she made more money on OF than any female wrestler made in the last month. So, yeah, that's another thing. There have been a few women wrestlers who have quit wrestling and have moved to OF. Cora Jade's one. I think Mandy Rose. It wasn't Mandy Rose that did. Mandy Rose, I believe, is another one who left and started an OF, and obviously they're making tons of money because the wrestling fan base is full of simps. Whenever, like, you can't criticize female wrestlers for anything. If you do, oh well, all the simp army will come and white knight for them on their behalf. Totally, totally toxic stuff. And so, yeah, that's another trend that we're probably going to see growing. All right, guys. I think that's enough of wrestling. Oh, actually, one more thing about wrestling. So I wanted to see what Jim Cornette had to say about Hulk Hogan's passing because Jim Cornette is like a TDS Trump hating person. So I was like, oh, let me see what Jim Cornette said. And look what I found. He's blocked me. I am blocked from seeing Jim Cornette stuff. It's probably because I've responded to some of his posts, basically just saying he has TDS and um, he should stick to wrestling because when it comes to wrestling, that's where he's a genius. But when it comes to politics, he's a freaking lefty moron. And so he blocked me. I was like, whoa, shit. So yeah, Jim Cornette's blocked me. But see, look at all these anti-Trump posts that he has. See, look at this. So I told him, I was like, just why don't you stick to wrestling, pal? In wrestling, you actually know what you talk about, but when it comes to politics, you don't know jack shit.